文字じゃないよな。
結構深そう。
Yo, 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 it's your boy Luau coming back at it again with another Pokemon Journeys episode review. In today's video, we're going to go over episode 72 of the Pokemon Journeys. That includes a recap and my own overall thoughts on the episode. But if you want to go ahead and skip the recap and go to the overall thoughts, I have a time link down below. So just go ahead and click that and skip to the part that you want to watch. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started on the recap. If you guys enjoy the high quality clips and pictures that I'm using, I think that deserves a like, but whatever. The episode starts with them in the Unova region because they heard of a brand new Clink evolution. Clink, clang, clang, clunk, clung. Or that's what I'm assuming because they just emphasized the gear part in the Japanese version. And it just turns out that it was like a marketing campaign for this cookie shop. And they have really good looking cookies, I'm not gonna lie. And when they're showing like this picture of like where they saw the rumor, Ash and Go, it's like a trainer that looks just like Cameron depicted, but I think I'm just stretching there. But yeah, I really like how, you know, that they're like, oh man, we're gonna get this awesome new rare evolution of, you know, Clink or Clank. I don't even know the Pokemon's name, to be honest. Down there, and there was just nothing there. And of course, Team Rocket, of course, just happened to be there with the same thing. And I really also like how Chloe was there too, but instead of like any Pokemon related stuff, she was just going shopping, you know. Just hopped on a plane and went to a totally different region just for some shopping, but that's a different story. So whatever, they're kind of bummed out that, you know, the Clink Clang evolution was just a marketing campaign by a cookie and they're eating their cookies, where we see Grookey and EEVEE, our favorite playmates, going to see a big hole on the ground, and they kind of make a commotion so everyone comes over. And what happens next? Well, Grookey and EEVEE just commit suicide and jump right into the hole. And of course, since there was nothing else to do, everyone followed suit and followed them. And yeah, so after that, you know, Team Rocket follows them down too, of course, because, well, what else are they going to do in the episode rather than, you know, follow these people down? So, yeah, there's a big smoke ball of confusion, and everybody gets separated in this underground, like, you know, maze kind of thing, and it ends up being Ash with Morpeko. We have Team Rocket with EEVEE, Go with Pikachu, and Chloe with Meowth. So these are very interesting combinations, and actually Wobbuffet was left outside of the maze because they wanted him to catch whatever come outside there with a actual net. Just gonna go old school with it. But yeah, I really like, first off, the interactions of these people. I like the group pairings. It's really nice and separated groups of like really interesting combinations, as well as the BGM that was playing during this part. It was really good. So Grookey was all by himself, which made me cry, but he ends up being a really smart boy and just follows like the tunnels out, and wherever this one tunnel was blowing wind to his leaf, he's like, alright, well, this is obviously the exit. And so he's a really smart boy, so that's all that matters to me, even if he was, you know, a little made me a little sad, to say the least. But yeah, so the first pair, we have Ash and Morpeko. The entirety of the episode was them just arguing over food. Ash had a little bit of leftover cookies from the shop that he bought, and he was slowly giving them to Morpeko, but of course it never satisfied him, and that was that. Team Rocket with EEVEE was a great interaction of them. First of all, there was like Jessie and Meowth were fighting the entire episode, so they were just, Jessie was trying to replace Meowth with EEVEE in the motto, and EEVEE just nailed it on the first time, and it was so freaking cute to watch. Then we have Go and Pikachu, which was a cool interaction, which kind of showed Go that Pikachu is just like Ash personality-wise. And that kind of like boggled his mind, like, wow, I guess, you know, Pokemon have their own personalities, but they kind of, you know, take form in their trainer. And he realized this when there was like a Seismitoad attacking from the sewers, and he wanted to catch it, but Pikachu just destroyed the Seismitoad right into the water again. And finally, we have Chloe with Meowth, which ended up being that Chloe was showing a lot of affection and, you know, niceness to Meowth, which kind of like endeared him and just made him fall in love with Chloe. So later on in the episode, it ends up climaxing, I guess, with we have Grookey escaping and Wobbuffet catches him, but Grookey easily escapes, and there was a funny little segment of him running around with the net too because he thought it was fun. And they end up going and pissing off some Heatmores, and so the Heatmores are chasing them, and they're really sad, and Wobbuffet's awesome too. I love Wobbuffet, but my favorite character is by far Grookey. And then the other main cast of characters run into a bunch of Durants, and they all butt heads. And there's, you know, Team Rocket with all the Pokemon, and we got Ash, Go, Chloe, EEVEE, Grookey, Pikachu. All of these people are here. We even have Wobbuffet there, and then all the Heatmores and all of the Durants, and they all just start fighting. And yeah, and then they use So as Heatmore and Durant are fighting, they got lucky. Everybody else escaped. And we have Go catching a Durant, which was pretty random. But it was cool nonetheless. Cute little Durant. I like Durant. Like I said, he's one of my cool Pokemon I like randomly. And yeah, that was basically most of the episode in a nutshell. I would say I was basically it. So my overall thoughts on this episode. Were that, to be completely honest with you, I think this is my favorite filler episode we've gotten of Pokemon Journeys yet in the longest time. Maybe in the longest time, or maybe just in general for me. I really enjoyed this filler episode. I really laughed out loud many times. There were so many cute moments, and it was just generally a really fun to watch filler episode. There was not many complaints that I could make about this episode. Honestly, like, it was well paced, to be honest. Like, they moved from part to part a little bit pretty fast, and they made a lot of character development with all of the interactions, because we had a lot of parties that don't normally interact with each other, interacting with each other and kind of getting a little bit more of a bond with each other, if you will. And so yeah, this is an episode that I can really easily go back and watch and overly enjoy it, to be completely honest with you. Like, there was just, first of all, Grookey being my favorite character was just the highlight of this episode. He was just so funny, as he always is whenever there's an episode surrounding him. He just had a great interactions with not only the main cast, but just being by himself and being a smart boy. You know, people think that, I've seen people hating on Gross Grookey, and that truthfully boggles my mind. Like, how could you hate such a nice little grass boy? Like, he is the third elemental monkey for Go. And then we had an awesome, like, little thing of Meowth and Chloe, and they're like talking how Chloe's like, just because you're bad doesn't mean you always have to do bad things. Like, you should be nice, because he ends up liking Chloe, and she asks him like, oh, what do you like in a girl or in somebody? And he likes, you know, their kindness. So she's like, well, you should be kind more often. And even though there was like a little mini episode arc, if you will, of Jessie and Meowth fighting, you know, she kind of like pushed Meowth into like apologizing and making up the friendship, because the friendship is important more than anything. And then I also really like how he tries to confess his friendship with Chloe at the end, but she moved out of the way classically, and he made amends with Jessie. It was really cute. And James was awesome in this episode, as he was like the serious one and also the mediator of their friendship thing. But yeah, again, overall, this was a very enjoyable episode for me. I really like this. I've liked this a lot more than most of the last few episodes, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments. Maybe you thought differently, maybe you didn't. I would love to have a conversation of this episode in the comments below. And again, if you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you guys made it this far, feel free to hit a like, subscribe if you haven't already. It's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.